Hello everyone, Mr. Nacho here, and today I wanted to share with you an updated and improved dots build. It's insanely powerful. Right now dots are just busted simply because they fixed some things, but they left some things still broken, and they are making the build insanely powerful at the moment. So let's get right to it. The main class is, or the archetype as it's called in this game, is Ritualist with the skill Miasma. And as you can see, it will deal a total of 5000 base damage. And it will last for 23.5 seconds. And the cooldown is 27 seconds. So we have 3.5 seconds of downtime where the dots are not applied. But we will get way more damage this way rather than just trying to keep the uptime permanently. When it comes to the armor, I'm just using the Crimson Guard set because I really like the look. When it comes to the relic, I'm using the elemental damage, skill cooldown, and modern skill cast speed, simply because whenever you cast Miasma, you get stuck in place for quite a long time. And this actually helps us get rid of it. When it comes to the long gun, we are using the Sparkfire shotgun with Twisting Wounds and Creeping Mist. There is nothing better to apply dots than Sparkfire shotgun. You might want to replace the Creeping Mist with corrosive rounds or the electric rounds, which is the overflow. You might also want to go for the petted wounds instead of twisting wounds. It's just up to you. They deal the exact same damage, and we will get them both anyway. So this is just your preference. When it comes to the melee weapon, we are of course using the Krell Axe, best dot weapon in the game, with Tainted Blade. So we will apply Corroded on melee hits. And then we have the Enigma with Failsafe, which is just a nice way to apply even more chaos drivers, which are the spikes that connect with one another and create the electricity field. It's extremely powerful and it's great when dealing with groups of mobs, and it does quite nice damage on its own. When it comes to the secondary archetype, we chose Medic, but you have options here. So the primary one, which I would actually recommend because it adds great amount of survivability to the build, is Medic with the healing shield. But you might as well want to go for the Alchemist, and any of those skills is, well, great for this build. Or the other option, and this would be the one that deals the most damage, would be Explorer with any of those two abilities, which is Planeswalker or the Gold Digger. We have a quick cast on all of our skills, so the Gold Digger will actually be quite fast and it will just be some additional buff for you. So if you want to play a little bit of a support role here and there, maybe in multiplayer with your friends, then this would be a decent setup. And as I've said, it does the most damage because Alchemist and Medic only give you 25% additional damage to all damage, and Explorer actually gives you 30% whenever you have all of the scavenger stacks active. But we will go with Medic for now. And when it comes to the jewelry, we have the Sinister Totem, which is extremely good for dot builds. It's actually one of the best amulets, if not the best. If you don't have it, the other options that you could go with are the Chains of Amplification. Even though it's not extremely good, it's still decent. The Energized Neck Coil, it's still okay. The explosions on it are kind of a bust, but, well, the increased status effect damage, 25%, it's decent. And the last one that I might recommend if you don't have any other ones is Ravager's Mark, simply because it increases all damage dealt to bleeding targets. And we have Twisting Wounds and Miasma, so we will be applying bleed to everyone around us anyway, so this is just a better version of Chains of Amplification. When it comes to the rings, let's start with the busted one first. In theory, the Band of the Fanatic should reduce status effect duration by 65%, but for whatever reason, it now prolongs the status effect duration and increases the status effect damage by 25%. So we have right now 23.5 seconds, and whenever we take this ring off, it should be longer, but no, it's actually lasts 20 seconds now. So for whatever reason, the Band of the Fanatic actually makes it longer by 3.5 seconds, and it adds a great deal of damage to the build. The next ring that's extremely important for this build is the Ahane Crystal, which deals 5% additional damage for each status effect, and we will be applying all of the status effects, so this will be permanent 20% multiplicative damage to our build, which is a huge amount. Then we have Shadow of Misery, which increases status effect damage by 15%. It's just a nice addition. You don't really have to run it. If you would rather run something like the Timekeeper's Jewel, then you are welcome. This would be the one that you remove for it, simply because this is additive damage, 15%. It's not really that great, but it's still something. And if you want your dots to last longer, then you can just run the Timekeeper. And the last ring is Singed Ring, which increases all damage dealt to burning enemies by 10%. And then again, we will apply Burning by Miasma and the primary fire of our Sparkfire shotgun, so we'll keep the enemies burning all the time. And this is also a multiplicative increase in damage. So this is a very powerful ring. So the Singed Ring, a Honey Crystal, and Band of the Fanatic are the 3 core rings that you need for this build. Shadow of Misery is nice. If you'd rather go with something else, then you are welcome to, but those 3 will actually make the build. When it comes to the traits, we have the Affliction, which is just something that comes with Ritualist naturally. Triage, that comes with Medic. Then we have Regrowth, so we get our HP back as soon as possible. We have Fortify. We have Flashcaster, so we can cast our skills way faster. This is 50% increase. Then we have 3 points in Strong Back to stay in medium weight with this setup. Then we have Expertise to reduce our skill cooldowns, Bark Skin to have even more damage reduction. If you don't really care for Bark Skin or Siphoner, I would actually recommend going with Amplitude, simply to increase the AoE size of our Miasma, and it will be a very big increase. Then we have Footwork, so we can just walk around and not have to dodge all the time and be able to keep on DPSing and applying dots whenever we are under attack. Then we have 9 points in Vigor, just to have increased HP, and 5 points in Handling to reduce the spread of our shotgun. The last thing that I would recommend is the Xenoplasm Concoction, which reduces our skill cooldowns by 10%. We are right now at 53% total DR. We are at 40% cooldown reduction, which is very nice. 40% actually allows us to have 3.5 seconds of downtime on Miasma skill. The Medic skill only has a cooldown of 60 seconds, so once every minute you can pop the shield. And as you can see, the reticle on our shotgun is not really the greatest, but we only needed to apply the dots. So as you can see, the range doesn't really matter. We can apply the dots from very far away, and it still counts. The damage from the shotgun is not going to be great anyway. Alright, so that is all for the introduction. Thank you all so much for watching so far. I hope that you will enjoy the clips that I've prepared for you, and have a great day.